Take me home tonight. Listen, honey, just like Ronnie said. Just like Ronnie said. Whoa, whoa, yeah.
All right, hello, welcome back to another episode of the unofficial official podcast from Straight No Chaser, episode number 20. As always, I am Mike here with Segi and Tyler. What's up, guys? How we doing tonight?
What's up? What's up? I'm good.
Yo,
How are you
we got
guys?
we got 20.
20
20.
episodes.
Wow, we made it.
20 episodes or 20 eps as they call it in the biz.
Yeah, I have to admit,
You didn't see us going this far?
when we first started, you have all these ideas in your head, you have these grand ideas, and sometimes they come to fruition and sometimes they don't. And this
100
one,
grand.
but yeah, sometimes they come to fruition, sometimes they don't. And I feel like this is one of the ideas that we had that actually did. And we enjoy it. And when we were on the road, it wasn't the easiest, but I noticed it was also something that every week we were like, hey, w- when are we doing this week? Who's going to be on? It was just something that I felt all of us rallied around.
I almost think it was easier to kind of coordinate when we were together on the road just because we were all in the
Sure.
same place. Be like, hey,
We have the same schedule.
can you come up from dressing room 427B and to the bus where we are recording the podcast rather than, we're home now, we got schedules and we have to do it usually late at night or when kids are at school. But so I think it's a little harder when we're at home, but I'm glad we can still make it work and keep the people happy that are listening. So thank you for all who are listening.
Mike, can I extend a challenge to you?
Please.
Challenge extended.
I need to know if you'll accept it before I
Oh
extend it.
no.
Before I know what it is.
It's
Okay.
nothing bad.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, sure, go.
Can you try to make a basket on that hoop behind you without looking back with whatever ball?
There's a
I would
ball.
need to find the ball first. The ball's around here somewhere. I don't know where it is. I feel like maybe the dog got it. I'm not sure, but I feel like
We'll get it in post.
I
And-
would use the other arm.
if I had it in a mat, well, I don't, well, hey, you're not me. So
I'm not.
I feel like if I had an imaginary ball, I could do it. I feel like if
Because
I
you could
did it,
see it in your camera.
it would go to the side, but no, I don't. But I will make sure I have that next time. I actually switched around like how this office slash studio looks. It's weird, man. Like I'm one of those people, I need to have something a little different, like to spark like some energy and like to, I don't know, spark, kind of inspiration. There's also a lot of stuff in this room.
Oh, you hate stuff.
Like, over the holidays, things sort of accumulate and stuff.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, it's
so
easy.
so so this last week, we did a little bit of purging and I switched this around too, and it's actually working because, you know, I feel like I have been working in this small little area that I'm in. As you guys know, how we talked about, we have a lot of work coming up over the summer and over the fall, and there's going to be a lot of new recording and stuff. So I've been at it all day, man. I would say this is the longest I've been in the room. I got in here about, I think maybe like 9:30 or 10, and I worked until 6, and we went out to dinner with some friends, and then I got back and I listened like right as I got back. I was like, I'm gonna come right back in here and just listen to what I did.
And you
I
immediately
don't,
hate it.
and I don't hate it. I don't.
Hey,
I don't know
that's
if that's a
good.
So
good
that's good.
sign. I
No,
don't know
no,
if that's
no,
a good
no, no.
sign.
It's a good sign. But
For everyone listening,
yeah,
the inside joke that you're now being brought in on
yeah.
is Mike will be very inspired to arrange a song, and when you're an arranger of a song, you're spending a lot of time with it. And Mike likes to get really creative with his arrangements, with a lot of the background vocals, adding different textures and lines and repeated words of the lead line. And he'll come up with like a sick arrangement. He'll bring it to the group. And then after a week, he'll just be like, I hate this arrangement so much. And we all agree every time.
Yeah, yes, I will say guilty as charged. but I think it's an insecurity thing. And I've realized that it's usually after I do like a verse, a chorus. So I have like, kind of like the basic thing going. And I'm like, okay, how does this sound? And like a lot of the times, how the verse and the chorus are going to sound is how the next verse and chorus are going to sound with a little bit of difference. So if I don't like that, then I have like this existential, like, oh no, what's the rest of the thing going to be like?
Yeah.
But I've realized that as long as I stick through it and I'm like, okay, I've been working on just trying to finish an idea and not let any of the thoughts get in the middle of it while I'm doing it because it sounds horrible when you're just hearing a baritone line, on its own with a bass part and like I don't know, a little bit of a drum pattern or something. It's just like, what is happening? What are we doing? And then as you're adding the
Yeah.
parts on, then you're like, okay, something's coming. But it's that initial hour or so, like the first hour to 3 hours, that's like, okay, I like what's going on. I like this pattern. Now I'm going to add it on. And then you can really start to feel it. So I've been trying when I get like stuck, I want to think to myself, okay, it's one line and it's a baritone part and it's one part of three or it's one part of maybe four. You don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's
Yeah.
hard to see that while you're doing it. And it's like, man, this sounds really boring, but it's just one part. So,
I
uh,
mean, you could have said 10 or 2 or 10 or 1.
well, I mean, anything on its own is
But also,
it's not going to sound great.
you nailed it on the head with the
Everybody
baritone.
knows. Everybody
Well,
Now,
knows.
no, like I
now
start,
try singing that baritone part for 61 shows,
yeah.
and then let's talk.
Well, when you hear the part and you learn the part, it's with everything else, everything else is there, so it's a little more interesting. But anyway, I switched around the room and I got a bunch of ideas going. I've got some holiday ideas going. I've got some 90s idea. Well, I've got one 90s idea going. I've got a holiday idea and I've got two ideas for like a social thing that I want to do or that I want us to learn for when we go to Asia.
Yeah, man. Ideas are flowing.
Yeah, so
That's good.
yeah, but like it's weird. I don't know about you guys and like how you guys work. I could be working on something and then I hear something else or I see something. I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. And I'll start a lot of songs and I'll just get a bass part and like a drum part down, the chords and stuff down. So I have a map
Oh, so you can jump around. You can jump around songs like that?
and then I'll leave it and I'll be like, okay,
Oh, I can't do that.
I want to do this song today or I want to do this song. How do you guys work with that?
I'm very, I like to stick, like if I'm going to start something, I'm going to want to finish it or get it to a point where it's, like a verse chorus or something that I have a good bulk of it. If I jumped around, I don't think I could go back. I don't know. That's just how I've always done it. But yeah, I always like to just sit down and kind of just do the big chunk of it so I have the idea. And kind of like you're saying before, like there's kind of what happens to me is like the first day of recording where I like get done with the day, I'm like, man, like I just don't know. But like usually what happens, I'm like, okay, you know yourself, just leave it for today, come back tomorrow and either try something different. Like I've definitely deleted whole sections before, whole choruses of backgrounds, being like, didn't like that, try
Hmm.
something different. And I'll always find myself liking the second thing I did much better. So
Interesting.
You should
yeah,
just do the second thing the first time.
right. I know. Because sometimes I'll like save what I did first, like, well, let's try something else, but at least I still have that. But I always use the second thing.
Yeah.
Always. So
Well, you could never get to the second thing if you didn't do the first thing. So,
right. So it's
you
like,
know,
well, this didn't work for whatever reason, a rhythm thing or a voicing thing or whatnot. But usually like that, after that first day, I'm always like, man, I don't know. But
Yeah. I also find sometimes it helps to walk away from it,
oh yeah.
So at about 3:30 this afternoon, I was like, I gotta get out of this room. I just have to get out. So I went on a walk with the dog and while I was walking, all of that was on my mind. I was like, oh, I'll do this after I get home, or like I'll do this, or like, ooh, I should switch that up. I should switch up the rhythm of the bass part there. Like it just kind of gives you
Way to walk away from it.
right like space from it. But
Were you holding space or was it just space
I don't
from where
know.
you were?
I think that if it works and if it has a lot of potential, I think I'll still think about it. If I leave because I want to get away from it because I don't like it, if I'm not thinking about how to make it any better on that walk or on a drive or on like anything, then I kind of know maybe I need to start over or something. But the things I was working on this afternoon were shorter things, like a minute and a half, Not, well, I mean, they could actually become songs that we do like in our set, but it was not 90s and it wasn't holiday. Those are the ones that I'm really spending some time on, because I feel like almost every holiday song has been done and I have these ideas to do songs. I'll just look around, I'll listen, I'll watch videos, whatever. And then that's almost like the worst thing to do because then you hear something, you're like, oh, that's cool. And then you're like, oh, wait, I don't want to copy that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right. So it's
I
like,
run into that
I
too.
always go back and
Yeah,
I'm like, shoot, I shouldn't have listened to any of that.
yeah, I run into that when because I like to listen to a cappella music from time to time. So if I know of an
You?
arrangement,
No way.
yeah, if I know of an arrangement already, it's like it's kind of already in there, and it's hard to kind of go away from that. So I'm the same way. Like I try not to listen to any other versions if I don't have to,
Mhm.
because I don't want to take from what that person did and use their idea. I want to do it myself. So
Yeah, but the other thing is too, I was actually thinking about this, Segi, he's like the arrangement of it really doesn't actually matter. And as an arranger, I hear that and I'm like, well, but then I think about it, well, he's right kind of because it's about songs. It's like
Depends
I
on the
don't think
song.
right, I don't really think a lot of people are like, "Oh, okay, that was a sick arrangement." They want to hear us sing that song and however we do it. Now, we can get into the weeds about it.
Yeah, like if we're doing like Creep, right? That's an arrangement where like people are like, "Oh wow, what a cool version
Yeah.
or arrangement." But if we're doing like Uptown Funk, you know what I mean? Like the backgrounds don't matter like at all.
Hmm.
It's all about the lead,
well, a little bit.
and the vibe, but not really. No one's paying attention to the I honestly could not even tell you what you do in the backgrounds of that song. And
Yeah,
we've done that.
but you would notice if they were bad.
Yeah, but it's never going to be bad.
No, it's
Right.
not. But I'm saying there's like a clever way to do it to where it still sounds like the original song, but the audience is, like you're saying, wants to hear it like the original, so that's what the backgrounds are doing. But you would notice if like in Uptown Funk if somebody was doing something like very obscure, you'd be like, well, why did they do it that way? You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
simple is better for the most part.
Hmm.
There are
Hmm.
moments where we can get into the weeds and get crazy with arrangements, but
Right.
overall for a lot of the songs we do, like simple is always going to be better because the majority of the people that come to our shows don't have music degrees. They're not following, the chord progressions. Like half the guys in the group aren't listening for that stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
Although we are going to start requiring it for the shows, music degrees.
yeah, you're gonna
Yeah,
have to
we're going to
chart our
start.
songs. We're doing ear training. But I'm like you, Mike. I like to start a bunch of different things and like come back to one and like
That's
move
crazy. I
around
can't do that.
move around.
Well, I mean, it's not hard to just lay down a bass line and lay down the song, like the chords of the song, right? So if I think of an idea, I'm like, ooh, I'll do that. Okay, cool. It'll probably take me a half an hour or so just to lay down the basic drum pattern and then like bass line, and I can just learn the song, right? I can listen to the song and be like, okay, so here are the changes. And then it's not
Take
like
it.
I'm arranging the song every time I have an idea. It's more just I hear it and then I set up a session for it and I get the chords down, right? And then I'm like, okay, cool. Now So whenever I want to go back to it, all I have to do is like sing, right? As like opposed to make the track.
Well, I mean, I get kind of
Yeah.
what you're saying is the setup process of like percussion and bass versus the what I would say the creative part of it, which is all the other backgrounds, right? I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
that's where your brain's coming to being like, all right, I have the bass, I have, what I kind of want the percussion to be. Now I get my creative brain on and put in the backgrounds, which is what is the shape of the arrangement.
Right. And the reason why I just lay down, I mean, all of that other stuff is so I have something to sing along to and I can stay in pitch or in the key itself. So it's easy for me to set those up in an hour ish. And then when I'm ready to sit and actually think about how I want to do the
Dissect.
backgrounds, then it's like, okay, that's when it sort of takes a minute. But every
I'm
song's different too, like
I'm
saying,
just I'm like a fish when I'm thinking about songs because I'll be
yeah.
like,
Hmm.
I'll
You
see
do it in the
something,
water.
I'll see something shimmering, and I'll be like, "Ooh, yeah, I want to do that." Oh, yeah,
Right.
and I'm on my way to it.
Hmm.
I'll see another thing shimmering, and I'll scurry over to that thing, and I'm like, "Ooh,
Totally.
this is what I want to do,"
Yeah.
and I'll just keep doing that until it's like, all right, nothing gets done.
So you're
Well, I mean,
distracted by shiny objects.
Yes,
Great.
basically. Ooh,
yeah, yeah, I'll say this too. I mean, as you guys know, we are going to go to Asia in May, and a lot of the work
Very
that we want,
excited.
yes, very exciting. A lot of the work that we want to do ahead of time is we want to learn songs that are hot over there. So I think since that's happening, I'm a little bit more like you said, Segi, like a fish, like, oh, okay, I'll do a minute of that, or I'll do a verse and a chorus of this. So I have 3 to 4 ideas happening right now. But I'll say for 90s show and for the holiday show in the fall, those are more like while I'm working on those, and I'm sure that I will switch back and forth. I have these other ideas too. And I think that's interesting though. Once we go to Asia, it's almost like we have to start over.
not
Like
almost like we are
not a lot
We're
of
gonna
really.
people
start
know us
over.
over there, so we have to sort of adjust how we look at our shows. Obviously, there's lots of songs we already have that are old songs, that are new songs, hit songs, but it's important that we introduce new songs as well. And that's a part of what all of us are talking about at the moment.
It's just trying to get noticed over there.
Yeah.
There's just so much content being thrown at literally every human 24 hours a day. So it's to get someone in Asia to be interested in something we're doing, you know, we really have to make sure that they want to see it, right? So that's why we're kind of doing as much recon as we can, looking at all the charts and all the
Mhm.
data to be like, okay, this song is crushing over there. Like it's number one on the charts, has been charting for, 10 weeks now. Okay, let's do a verse chorus of that song, get it up on social media and start geotagging and geofencing some of these markets and try to get a little bit of love over there because nobody knows who we are over there. I mean, nobody knows who we are over here, right? We have a small little niche that we're a part of, but divide and multiply that by zero, and that's how many people know us over there. So we are
It's
starting
zero. The answer is zero.
nice.
Well, I mean, I will
Indiana
say,
University.
That's
I'll,
right,
I
baby.
will say though, there is one song that we have that is really popular in Asia. It's probably because of Kristen Bell.
Oh yeah, text me Merry Christmas. No,
That
yeah,
that's a big song over there for us. And I feel
in
like,
Korea, it's a big song in South Korea,
right.
and maybe North Korea. I don't
We
know.
yeah, we don't know. We haven't heard
If
back from
if
their
anyone's
charts yet.
watching this in North
Nobody
Korea,
knows. Nobody
Yeah,
you're
knows. Not
you can go
allowed.
on
ahead.
your
Email us at
Yeah.
get on your nun computer with nun internet access and
Are
email
we
us.
gonna do that song in Jakarta?
listen. If they want
No,
it, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Jakarta don't want it.
Jakarta
You don't
don't
think
want
so?
it.
Jakarta don't want it. I got an email from Jakarta earlier. They're like,
Yeah,
nah,
they
we're all
said
set.
that. They're like, why don't you
Yeah.
come back in December?
there's actually a song, there's a Chinese song that I saw on the Chinese charts that I think I'm gonna do
Cool.
in Chinese.
Whoa. Do you know
Yeah.
Chinese?
You're gonna learn
No,
it?
but I could read.
Those
I don't know if
symbols?
you can read Chinese.
No, I can't read Chinese. It's written with English letters.
Oh, okay. Dang, man. Do you get a lot? Do you
We
order a lot
just
of Chinese
guess. We
food?
just guess what the symbols are, and like immediately canceled. Like immediately, like the
Immediately, yeah.
second
No,
the
they would
vocals start.
appreciate the effort.
I don't know that
I
that's
think
what
they
their
would.
takeaway would be, but our careers would be over. But
Sir, I
no,
think you just ordered cashew chicken.
sir, this is a Wendy's. Yeah, no,
Fried chicken.
it's not hard. It's not, I don't know. I feel like I grew up bilingual, trilingual, so like I feel like if you just spell the words in front of me, I could mimic any. Oh
Some-
no, but they've got obviously they've got to be
It's like
spelled out with
phonetic.
English letters.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's
Yeah, but
not
I'm
how Chinese works.
no, I know, but I found a site that's got the lyrics in English, but it's
Oh.
not
Oh,
It's not English translation. It's English spellings of the Chinese words. Here's the first few words of the song. Beifang.
oh, okay.
So it's like
You
written
could do
out.
that. You could do that. Yeah. Oh, all right. I see. I see.
Yeah.
And the backgrounds are just on ooh, so we're good.
Are they? We'll find out. Your parts are all in symbols.
How much
Yeah,
of this
forever.
are we keeping in?
All of it.
All of it. No, but I want to
yeah.
do stuff like that because
Yeah.
like I want to pander to the most extreme level possible. Like just be like, hey man, we're trying so hard to get noticed over there. So
Yeah.
please notice us. You know what I mean? And
Well, yeah, it was hard to hear on the call the other day that essentially like nobody wants to see us in Japan.
Not
was
nobody, just
like,
that one place.
Well, he was like, we tried. I know the guy, and it was like,
it's because nobody knows us.
there,
That's why
yeah, but
we
there's a
need
lot
to,
of like I think there's a lot of reasons, but
I think there's one reason.
I'm just saying like it's not hard to hear that because obviously I know how to deal with rejection. It still stings
Yeah,
a bit when
yeah.
it's like, and even
I mean,
like
I
he's
mean-
my friend. I know this guy, and he's just like,
this
no.
guy is my best friend. He was in my wedding. Like this dude is my boy. Yeah, he said no. You know, but like the thing of it is like
so
It's actually
good.
it's actually Tyler's dad.
And like we can
Yeah.
laugh about it though.
but like
Because
we
there's
hear-
nothing
obvious.
we can do. There's nothing we can
No.
do because like we
Well-
are who we are. I feel like we're all sort of really secure in what it is we're doing. So whenever we hear that stuff, it's not the first time and it's not gonna be the last time, but every time it just kind of stings a little bit. But I think that's natural.
I mean it happens here too. We just don't
Yeah.
we don't hear it from
Sure.
we don't hear it a lot. Like but it definitely happens here too. I mean there's stuff that we get passed on for all the time. I mean it definitely
every TV spot this fall.
It definitely sucks to hear, but it's like I don't know. I kind of view it's kind of cool that we're doing this though, because I feel like I mean, and all of us are kind of like up for this challenge, right? Like we're
Totally.
we're all excited, anxious, like willing to do whatever. Like we're very hungry for this market, so we're all in this to be like, yeah, let's go, let's do whatever we can. So that's what we're gonna do.
Mhm.
And we have no following there. No one knows who we are there. Of course they're gonna say no. No promoter is gonna be like, yeah, I'll cut you a check. No, sorry, pass. So we have to continue to grow our social media presence, which we're doing slowly, but we're doing it. And in addition to growing the socials, we need to pay direct attention and speak directly to those markets,
Mhm.
right? When we went to Paris and we sang that song in
Oh, it's right, yeah.
French, like people lost their minds. You know what I mean? Like just little gestures like that will get you noticed, will cut through the noise and allow people to just catch a glimpse of you. And then if 1 million people catch a glimpse of a 30-second clip on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or whatever, if 1%, 5% of those people turn into ticket buyers and attending concerts, that's huge. You know what I mean? So it's just about speaking directly to them, which we've never done. So I'm glad we're finally doing it. 16 years in, it's never too late. So, yeah, I mean, if anyone listening is in Japan or South Korea or the Philippines or Indonesia or
Singapore.
Singapore or China, because we want to come there. And also, I mean, let's just be real. It's about the viability of this group long term, right? If we continue hammering the US markets, twice a year now, eventually there's going to be some Straight No Chaser fatigue, right? So finding, other markets where we could tour and be successful
Mhm.
at touring,
Yeah,
will help keep this group going for longer.
but it's going to happen when it happens, man. And I think when it does, it's going to be really great.
Well,
So,
also like
I'm gonna-
the best way to market ourselves is to go somewhere and do a show, right? There's only so much that can be done by watching videos on YouTube, and the best way to see us, everybody will agree that coming to a live show and seeing us perform live is the best way. So us
right.
going over there and actually having shows is huge. So that's great that we got this
Huge.
opportunity, and hopefully we can grow it.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we are going to have a short little break here, and right before that, we will have a word from our unofficial official sponsor for this episode.
Today's unofficial official sponsor of this episode is M Audio. We use
Woohoo!
these mini key station
Key
MIDI
station, baby.
controllers to arrange all of the SNC songs you know and love. I know I've got one. I know Mike's got one. Ty, you
I've
got
got
one?
the 49 key one, baby.
Yes.
Walt's got one. We all use them. We bring them on the road. I use the mini one. Everyone knows it's for girls. It's from Borat. Mike's got the bigger one. And the bigger keyboard. And here we are with the MIDI controller. You could do all sorts of different sounds. I use this mostly for bass lines, and sometimes I'll do like pads, chords, and stuff. And you could even do like drums. You could do like cool stuff. And you can just like walk down the street doing this. Looks real cool. Like when I go pick up the kids from the bus stop, I'll do this just to see if like they're embarrassed or if they'll go to a friend's house for a couple hours after school and avoid me. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing this until they agree to be an official sponsor. So
Yes, we love M Audio. Very easy to hook up. I do have to say though, no way that Segi could go to the bus stop and play that unless it was connected to a computer,
A very
no,
long
I
cord.
just said I do
USB.
this. I walk around and do this. Look cool.
No, it's great. Very easy to hook up. Very user friendly. A lot of great stuff from M Audio, our unofficial official sponsor for episode number 20 of the unofficial official pod from Straight No Chaser. Thank you, Segi, for that. So just to wrap up the arranging slash Asia conversation, if there's one thing that you can know that we are doing when we are off right now, it is creating. Everybody in the group has ideas, has thoughts. They will send ideas. They will send a voice note with a melody for a song.
I got one today from Jerome.
Really
Gone
say it's a
yesterday.
group effort, right? It's a group effort, and we are working on making the show better. And it's nice that we have months off at the beginning of the year just to really sit and think on songs and our show and what we want to bring to you guys. So,
Our
and
livelihoods literally
absolutely.
depend on it.
And we could not do that without your support. And I know we
right.
say it a lot, but we are super thankful for all of you guys for listening, for
Yep.
coming to our shows, for
Buying
saying
merch.
hello in lines, for merch, for everything. Super thankful. So, with that in mind, we are going to go to the mailbag for this.
Mailbag.
So we encourage you, if you have questions, to write in to unofficialofficialpod@gmail.com, and we will answer the questions. We'll get to a handful every week, but the more you write in, the more we'll answer. So I will throw it to Tyler, who has the list of questions for this week, and he's going to take it away.
Yeah, so thanks for everybody who's been writing in. Some of these are from the last part of tour, but yeah, you can email us, questions about the group, questions about us, non-group related. You can let us know, like maybe, I don't know what guests you want to hear, who you want to hear from, or who you want to hear again. But yeah, just shoot them our way, and we'll read them, and maybe they'll be on the pod. You never know. So we're gonna start first with Rhonda from Gilbert, Arizona,
Help me,
and
Rhonda. Help
she
Hey, Rhonda.
me,
says, "Hey
Rhonda.
Rhonda," she says she sat in the front row for our show and wanted to know if it's a distraction when you see the fans singing along to your songs.
Gosh, no. Are you kidding? Like, I know Mike feels the same way, but like when I see people out there singing along to like lyrics that we have written,
Hmm.
like I'm not talking like the smash hits of covers we do. I'm talking like our stuff that we've written. That like feels so good. It
Mm.
is like anytime I see that for any song that any member of this group has written, like if they're singing those lyrics, like that makes like my heart so happy. Like it's such an amazing feeling.
Yeah, it is not awkward. I will say, just a quick story. There was one show that we did over the fall. I forget which one it was.
I
There's a
remember this.
couple young kids in the front row, and they were there with their grandmother. And throughout the whole show, they were kind of like laughing and smirking in a way. And it was almost like laughing at us up there, the old guys up there, dancing around. You know, I saw it as they were making fun of us, and boy, was I wrong.
They were just making fun of Luke Bob.
They were just yeah, just making for Luke Bob. But they walked through the line, and the girl said one of her songs, the one that she was there to see, was one that I had written. Feels Like Christmas.
Yep.
And I was sitting next to Segi in the signing line, and I looked at him and I was like, man, I was so wrong about that. And that's a lesson on a lot of different levels. But for the question, it's never awkward, gives us energy. It shows us that you're having an awesome time. And
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Like sing along, all of those things. But that reminded me of that moment. And I'm happy that like I got to share that just because I kind of feel bad about it, but I was so affected by it because I was like, why are they laughing at us? And it wasn't that at all. I misread the whole thing.
But it is funny
But yeah, yeah.
how much you can misread an audience member
Oh,
just by
totally.
looking at their face or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there are some people that just show emotion in different ways, right? Like
Hmm.
someone could be stone faced the whole time, just like the entire show. And
Yeah.
then they'll come through the line like, "This changed my life. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Like,
And
I'm
we're like,
so glad I
what?
was here."
You
We're
didn't
like,
look like you're having a great.
seriously thought you hated us. But yeah, it is funny how often that happens. And if you're in the audience and you're in the first like 20 rows, we are like reading you all. We're trying to get a read on all of you. Like,
We can see
okay,
you.
we can see you. I see you
But
on
like it's not a
Moses.
conscious thing. Yeah, like you catch an eye or like you catch a like if someone's looking at their phone or something and you're like, "Oh, well you're not interested." That doesn't mean they're not interested. It just means maybe they had to respond to a sitter or they had to respond to something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
never know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Rhonda, for that question. Let's
Rhonda,
go
thank
to
you, Rhonda.
Andrea Davis. She's in Marietta, Atlanta. She writes in parentheses,
Georgia.
Georgia. She asks, "What was the hardest song in the set list?" I'm curious to see if your answer is the same one I'm thinking of.
I have to look back at the set. Sometimes the hardest ones though are the ones that that we've done that we've rearranged.
Yeah,
Sometimes those are. So this year we did 12 Days of Christmas, but it wasn't the original version. It was mixed with the Can Can, and that was a new version.
I think I'd say just remembering the form and syllables of "With a Little Help from My Friends." Just
Oh,
like the first
yeah.
two verses. Once the choruses get going, it was easy. But for some reason, I always had trouble remembering if it was "whoa" or "ooh."
I guess the answer though, for me, would probably be Little Boo Thing for that reason. Because even though it's not a hard song to sing, where I was going throughout the song was a little difficult to remember, and also just with the choreography and stuff, because that kind of adds, right, another element. But I'd say for me, it was Little Boo Thing.
What was
I
yours,
had,
Ty?
I had two. One was Winter Wonderland, just because of the complexities of all the jazz stuff in there, like the syllables
Oh, you
and
should have
kind
just
of
sang
like
solo. So easy.
kind of what sections came next. Because there was like, there's a couple of times it was an arpeggio, and a couple of times it wasn't. So that was kind of tricky. And the other one for me that I definitely focused a lot on was the first Noel, just because you're just standing there singing a very, very popular Christmas carol, and it's like, that it has to be good. It has to be pretty on. So if there's no choreo, or you're just standing there and singing, like you should be focused on making sure that you're, singing with the other guy in your part correctly in pitch, in time, like trying to make that as best that it can sound, because like I said, everybody knows that one and it should sound very, very good.
That's interesting that you say that, since it was a song that we sung in our shows. Was it more like relearning it, or was it more singing it kind of within the group setting? That was the hard
Just
thing for you.
just the more just the more, like, more focus on just that song and singing that well, because of just
Right,
how it was arranged and how it should sound as like a Christmas carol.
right. Cool.
Cool. Well, thank you, Andrea.
You got time for
Let's
one more?
let's try for one more. Okay. So this is Angie Martin, and she just says Indiana. I don't know if she said a city. So Angie, somewhere in Indiana, she just asks, one of her questions is, does anybody have jobs that aren't music related in the group?
I can speak for myself and say that I do not.
I
When
do
I'm
not either.
off of the road, I am a dad. I am arranging music. I'm writing songs, but I have definitely thought about, different things, but no, I don't. I am a musician full time.
Mine is also music related, so no, but I know Segi's got some.
Yeah, I did real estate for a little while. I just really love real estate. And I
Yeah.
was doing it for a little while. I stopped. I put my license on hold this year because I was like, or last year because I was like, I don't have time to do anything with this. I'm just gonna put on hold. I primarily got licensed because we were gonna build a house and sell a house. So I was like, oh, I should just do this myself and save a whole bunch of money. And I enjoy doing real estate, so can help family and friends. And that's what I basically mostly did. I did some other deals too, but it was mostly family and friends. So I did that for a little bit and I really enjoyed that. My brother and I own a hookah lounge together, which is fun. And then, Dr. Steve and I have a business management firm, but that is kind of music related. So, but yeah, I like to do a lot of different things. I like serial entrepreneur. What else think I was thinking
Maybe
of.
I was gonna
Go
say,
ahead.
maybe you can manage all of the revenue that the unofficial official pod is going to start to bring in from all of our unofficial official sponsors that
We
are going
can't
I
to
pay
would
you. We
I
can't
would
pay you.
gladly do that because
do
it's
that
really
for
easy.
us.
Counting the nun monies.
Hey, last week when we posted the pod, the unofficial
Yeah.
official sponsor
Shout out to
reposted it.
Chaotica. That
They're
was
like,
cool.
thanks for
I
the
was,
free pub.
hey, that's fine.
Hey,
Hey,
yeah,
That's
that's
how it
that's
great.
fine.
starts. Just
Yeah,
That's fine.
grassroots marketing saves us a ton of cash.
pro
Absolutely.
bono.
I
Yeah.
was thinking about, okay, so I don't know about you guys, but it's become a thing now. Like this didn't exist when I grew up, at least where lived and grew up. I think Mike, your experience was probably different where you lived, but we didn't have like people come clean our house growing up. It did not exist. For you, it was probably different. Um, so now it's like a thing. Everyone has someone that comes,
Sure.
whether it's once a month or twice a
Yeah.
month, or some people do every week, which is insane. But we had a company come, like, I think once a month or maybe twice a month, and none of them are good. Okay, and none of them do a good
Not
job.
after the first time. That's
Even
my
then,
experience.
even
Well,
then, dude, like, and I don't like nitpick on like simple things, but like big things. And I'm just like, come on, like, how do you miss that or whatever? I was like, I should start a house cleaning business because, dude, they bank. They
Mm.
make so much money, so
Mhm.
much money. And if you're good, you'll never, ever need work. Like, you'll never need to look for work because it's all word of mouth, right? So, like, everyone that's been referred to us has been fine, but no one's been like really good. So I was like, maybe I should just do that. Because,
Clean houses.
yeah, because I know I could do a great job. The problem is, as you grow,
The cleaning.
hiring people
Yeah.
to assist you, those people are, you can't give your motor to someone else. You know what I mean? So there's the rub there. But yeah, I've always thought about just doing that.
I feel like your efforts and your energy would be served so much better elsewhere. And I know you're, kind of half kidding, but I know that you do a
I'm
really good
like
job.
80%.
Wow.
You would do a really good job of
I just
managing the
I
people who clean the
no,
houses. You
yeah,
would not
I
be
I
in there.
would, but I would clean really well.
Well,
Just
you'd
throw
show, yeah, you'd be like,
I
hey,
would throw
this is the
podcasts in
standard.
and crush it.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
You
that's the
know,
thing
you
though.
know who would be good? Mike would be great if you need a bunch of stuff thrown away.
Oh, I could throw things away with the best of them. Just reckless abandon,
Oh,
just throwing stuff
so
out.
on the bus,
So wasteful.
sometimes Mike, and I'm sure he does this at home too, but I can't. I'm not there, so I
Uh,
don't know. But on the bus, he'll get into this mode where his cleaning mode, where like there's just a bunch of stuff out, from whatever, whatever, and he just goes into this mode and just boom, cleans the whole sink area, blah blah blah, put stuff away. Like it's kind of impressive to see him work. He's like on a mission, and it's he does a very great job. But it's
yeah.
funny. It's funny to watch him do that.
Mike, come be my number two.
Maybe I can be.
Come be my number two, bro.
The unofficial official pod.
You
And
can't
also,
afford.
we can clean your houses.
I don't know if you can afford me.
Dude, we could sell our own laundry detergent, the unofficial official pods.
Wow.
Marketing genius over here.
Oh man, I do
Don't
so
steal our
much.
idea. Don't steal our idea.
We do so much laundry too. Dishes and
Bro,
laundry, all the pods, man. Crazy.
bro, my kids, okay, so this week was insanity. So Monday was Martin Luther King, so no school.
Equal
Tuesday, no
opportunities.
school is too cold. Wednesday, no school is too cold. Thursday, no school, snow. And then they had school today. Leo comes home, he's like, having school today was so pointless.
Yep, he's
Monday,
right.
Tuesday, Wednesday,
Smart kid.
Thursday off. Friday school, weekend. I was like,
It's
you can't
great.
just,
What are you talking
I was like,
about?
you can't just have the whole week off. He
Good
was
for
like,
him.
we shouldn't have had school
Smart
today.
kid. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, dude, you can't be thinking like this already at
that's
7 years
great.
old. You're gonna be miserable in high school.
Yeah.
And
Um,
Mila like is like devastated when school gets canceled. Like
yeah,
she's like
they get to see their
Oh,
obsessed.
friends and stuff.
Yeah, she's
Um,
obsessed with her teacher too.
that's good. Hey, so as we're wrapping up here, I did want to ask Tyler about how he is doing. If you guys don't know, he can inform you a little bit more, but he's had some issues with his knee going on, and he had a surgery yesterday, or no, Wednesday. We just wanted to see how you're feeling, how you're doing, and how the recovery's going after 48 hours now. But yeah, give
well,
us all the deets, man.
well, thank you very much. I appreciate the concern. No, I did have knee surgery on the same knee I've had two ACL repairs on. Those were, over 12 years ago. So it's been doing well for a long time. And then last summer, before the 90s summer tour, I had injured it, thinking it was something, small that, time and rest would just take care of. It was not the case, and I met with a doctor when I got back home, and he said it will probably is going to require surgery. But at that time, it was only about 5 weeks until the fall tour. So timing wise, it didn't make sense to have it until now. So I had it couple of days ago, and it was a meniscus repair on my right knee. So it could have been a lot worse than it was, where, he had to do a bunch of more complicated things, which basically means a longer recovery. But he didn't have to do that. So, and he didn't know what was going to happen until he got in there. But basically, long story short, all is good. It's about a 6 week recovery back to full strength, but I can kind of walk on it now. And this week it should just keep getting better and better. But no, I feel fine. The pain is pretty minimal so far. So yeah, doing good.
What time was the surgery?
I was there at 8 in the morning, and I was home by maybe like 12:30.
So you
So
think when he got in there, he like got it open, he's trying to decide if it's gonna be like shorter or longer. He looked at his watch, he's like, man, haven't had
Man,
coffee.
I
got
yet.
lunch.
Haven't had
I got that
coffee."
lunch date calling my name.
You know what? Let's just do the short one for today and get out of here and call it a day.
Uh,
But that's great that it went well. I thought it was a removal. I thought they were removing the knee.
removing the knee. No, it's
Yeah.
I still have my knee, so it's all good. But yeah, doing good.
That's great.
Are you walking with the cane? Do you have a cane? It's
I
really cool when you have a
I
cane.
don't have a cane, but I was walking around with one crush, and it was kind of like a cane, so it was like bump.
Dean
But
Kane.
yeah,
You have
I
okay.
should
If you have
get
a
a
cane,
cane
you got to
now.
have the hat. You got to have the whole thing. So
I got it. Yeah, if you're gonna go for it,
Then
go
you're
for it.
basically
Yeah.
Mr. Peanut,
yeah,
a
that's
monocle,
right.
Right.
and then
You
I
can't
do,
have that. We can't have that.
dude, I could literally never walk in his home. Are you kidding? He's got
Yeah.
basically like Ringling Brothers living in his home, so wouldn't be able to breathe.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
I did want to take a second and say thank you to all the chasers for their unbelievably generous support to Mila and her Girl Scout cookies. Like
Yeah. Oh,
I posted the video because I was being self-centered because I thought it was a funny video that I made. But man, they like were crushing it.
great, man.
And still
That's
are.
great.
It's amazing. So
Love that.
to all of you, I'll message you all personally, but to all of you that purchased or donated cookies, thank you so much. That was very kind and generous of you. And Mila is like so excited. Yeah.
That's great.
So
Great.
thank you for that.
Love that. Yeah, absolutely.
Mike and Tyler did not buy any.
We are so lucky to have y'all as our listeners, as our supporters, as our
Brent.
and like I know we say it a lot, but it would literally not be something that we could do without you guys. So we always want to make it a point to reiterate that. And if you want to follow us, you can on all the socials at unofficial official pod. And if you have questions, you want to write us anything, you want to ask us, whatever, unofficial official pod at gmail.com. And on all the socials, like I said, like and subscribe. And we would love to hear from you. We would love to interact with you. And that's going to do it for episode number 20. Is there anything else you guys want to say as we wrap up here?
I think so. Thanks, everybody.
Spread the SNC word to Asia. If you know anybody over there, blast them with all of our stuff, please. We're
Right.
trying to boots on the ground, grassroots this thing into existence. So please spread the word.
All right, guys. Oh, I just want to say real quick, if you want to come see us over the summer, our 90s tour, we are going to be announcing our dates within the next few weeks. I'm not sure exactly when, but it'll be very soon. And then obviously the fall tour as well. So make sure that you are watching out for that on our website, sncmusic.com, for tickets once they get released. And we hope to see you at a show this summer. So this has been episode number 20 of the unofficial official pod from Straight No Chaser. For Segi and Tyler and Mike, we will see you next time.
See you.